Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. Spending the morning inside. Still got a little congestion in my chest and a pretty wicked cough from what's remaining of COVID. And I want to thank you guys for all the kind comments and the blessings to get through this. Hoping in the next 4 or 5 days to be completely done with it. So, anyway, in the last couple weeks, I've had some packages come in the mail, and I wanted to share them with you today. We've got a couple here from Castle Hives. If you're not familiar with Brian's channel, I'll link it up in the corner, and you can go check it out. The stuff in this box, or in these boxes, he does sell over on Etsy, and I'll be leaving a link for that down in the video description. I've also got a couple new items from my merch store. I'm pretty anxious to check out myself. I've left them in the package just so we could open them together, but I'm pretty anxious to see what they look like in person. So let me set these off to the side, and we'll start off with Castle Hives packages here. You can see if I move these boxes over, well, maybe you can't. Little ladybug sleeping right here. There, you can see her a little bit. Okay, so let me get this mason jar out of the way. This goes along with what Brian sent me, or Castle Hives. So he sent me 2 different packages, and this one came first, and then this one. I'm not sure if he's still making this style that I'm about to show you, but let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got here. So what we've got is some twine, or jute as it's called. You can see that there. And some disc with a nipple on the top. Any clue what that's for? Well, let me tell you what it's for. What you do is you take a mason jar with the metal lid. You take this, stick on top of the jar, and now you've got a bee nipple jar feeder. You simply drill a hole in your outer cover, the same size as this nipple or shaft, and you stick it down through there to feed your bees. When you remove it, you can simply buy a little rubber plug or a cork and plug that hole off. Now, the reason for the twine is, or the jute, is you have to take some of this jute, you have to run it through the hole here. You then tie a knot on the back side, or the top, like so. And then you pull the knot back down to the hole like so. And then you cut the string off at the bottom of the nipple. And that just pulled my knot through. Let me get a pair of scissors here. Okay, I'm back. Got me some scissors. Let's try this again. So we'll take the jute, which he supplied me with a couple feet. Appreciate that, Brian. Okay, so we'll feed it through the nipple, coming out the back. We'll tie a knot back here. I think we'll double the knot just to make it a little bit bigger. So there we go. Now that knot's not going to pull through. Then at the bottom, we will cut it off. And I really kind of wonder if a person couldn't put a knot at the bottom just so it's not falling back into the jar. But that's going to take some experimenting with. then you screw your lid on. Now what the jute does is it keeps the fluid from just constantly dripping. So that's one style, and I'm not sure if Brian, like I said, is still making this style. I've got a couple of these to experiment with, but I know since he has upgraded to a different style. Now, if you followed me long enough, you know years ago I made my own nipple jar feeders by taking and drilling a hole in the metal lid and then taking a small section of brake line and soldering it to the metal lid. These worked really well, with the exception of a couple things. One, the metal lids. It doesn't matter how clean you keep them. Over a period of time, they get a little rust under them. And then they're just a nightmare to get the lids off, and the jar doesn't want to seal. When the jar doesn't want to seal, then you have constant dripping all over the bees. And it makes a big mess and usually triggers robbing. So for that reason, I've shied away from these for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've been looking for something to replace them. Well, here's what I found. On Amazon, and I'll leave a link for these in the video description, they sell these plastic lids for mason jars. They come with a little rubber gasket, which goes down in here. Simply take your finger and push it down in place. I don't know how well it's coming or picking up, but they're really nice lids, and rust is never a problem, therefore they seal 100% each time. So this is going to go along with the other package that Brian sent me. Lock ring. What you do is, and we're going to do it right now, take a drill bit, in which I like this step down drill bit, just makes it real easy to do what you got to do, and it looks like the very first step down is the right size. So we're going to come and we're going to find the center of our lid, or roughly the center of our lid, and we're going to drill a hole. I have to come back through the other way, clean it up a little bit. So now we've got a hole in our plastic lid. Take my knife and clean the burr off. Then you're going to insert the nipple from the bottom of the lid up through, like so. And then you're going to glue this little snap ring on over top of this nipple. Actually, as tight as it goes on, you may not have to glue it. Or slide it down. Just like so. So that's what you got. So now I've got my plastic lid, which doesn't rust, seals every single time, and we've got a plastic nipple. Included in the kit, he's also thrown in some more twine or jute, and you would do it the same way. You would run the string through, tie your knot at the back, and leave a little bit, reveal it out the bottom. Then when you screw it on, to your plastic jar, or to your glass mason jar, this is what it would look like. So now you can go around and fill up all of your jars and feed all of your hives without ever opening the colony. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Appreciate that, Brian. Very anxious for spring to get here so I can try these out. So, thanks. If you're interested in these, I will leave a link down in the video description, and you can go over to Castle Hive's Etsy site or page and purchase your own to give them a try. So, like I said, thanks again, Brian. I set this stuff off to the side here. So, this is, like I said, this is some of my merch that I have yet to see in person since I've designed it, and I'm very anxious to open it. So, let's just dive right in here and see what we've got. Are you ready? Are you ready? Drum roll. Look at that, folks. JC's Bees. Got the same print, both sides, so it doesn't matter which way you hold it. Look at that, folks. Brand new coffee cup. Isn't that sharp? Give you a full all the way around look. Here's a closer look. JC's Bees. You see the bees there? Bees. Anyway, pretty excited to have that. I know what I'll be drinking coffee out of tomorrow. And here in this one, let's see, where do we open it at? I swear anymore you gotta really study boxes to see where you're supposed to open it. Looks like here. Oh, drum roll. Here we have my new tumbler. Same JC's Bees logo on that side, but on the back we have the same logo that's on my hat. So it's got a nice lid on it. Nice sliding closure on that too. Boy, I really like how that feels. All stainless all the way through. This is actually for the wife. She's going to be using this. She's been patiently waiting for me to open all these boxes, so I'm sure she'll be using this later today. So anyway, 2 new products in the merch store. If you're interested, they can be found in the link to my merch store below. Pretty excited to have both of these. So that's all I've got to open for today. We'll set this off to the side. I better put them on the floor. Ladybug will knock them down and break them. She's sleepy now. She's sleepy, girl. The other thing I'd like to talk a little bit about is y'all know I've been exploring the idea of feeding fondant to my bees this winter, just because they're so light on food stores. So I've never fed true fondant, and I think there's a little bit of confusion when it comes to true fondant. I had a lot of people tell me that they make their own fondant with sugar and a little bit of water, but my experience is that's not truly fondant. Fondant doesn't get hard, and it's my experience, regardless how little water you add to sugar, over a period of time, it's going to turn rock hard. It's not going to remain pliable. So I've done some research, and Hive Alive has just came out with this product in the last little bit. This is a 2 pounds, 4 ounce chunk of fondant. And I ordered a whole case of these. This isn't all of them, but so last week when I was feeling ill and not the greatest, but yet I was sick to death of laying in bed, I forced myself to go out on a nice day and stick a couple of these in a few different colonies. And I have yet to go back and check, but I'm sure the bees are going to be quite happy having this to eat on. So as you can see, it's very, very pliable. It's almost the consistency of cake icing. This shouldn't get hard. This should remain pliable the whole time it's in the colony. And what I did was, I'm going to overlap some pictures here. You know, I've got my feeding rim on top of my colonies, or on my nukes, and I simply sandwiched this or pressed this down into 1/2 of the feeding shim, as you can see here. Before I applied it, though, on the back, what I did is I took and cut 3 sides, and that left a little door to open for the bees to access from the bottom. They go up in and they can eat all of this, and then I'll remove it once it's gone and install another one. So I'm very excited to have found these. I think they're going to work really well, but time will tell. I don't think they're too overly priced either. I mean, I got a whole case of, I think it was, let's see, I think there's, yeah, I got 15 of these for $90 delivered to my house directly from Amazon. So if you're looking for an option to feed your bees that seems like it's going to be quite simple, I'm going to leave a link down in the video description so you can go over and check these out. They sell them by the case, they sell them individually. That option would be yours, but I think they're going to work really, really well. And they have some great additives in them to help the bees. They have vitamins and amino acids. So yeah, I think the bees are really going to enjoy these. Got a lot of weight to them if you grab very many at once. So that's about all I have for you right now, folks. It's pouring the rain down outside. Temperatures dropping. We started at 54 degrees this morning, and by the end of the day we're going to be in the mid-20s. So yeah, temperatures are dropping. It's definitely an inside day for me. Gotta heal and get this congestion out of my chest and get back to 100%. But I wanted to take a few minutes this morning and open these boxes and share these fondant patties with you. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and hopefully, weather permitting, I'll have another video for you this coming Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Have a great week, and we'll see you then, folks. Thanks for watching JC's Bees.